Welcome. Welcome. I'm Tim Fortescue, an IFS trained practitioner specializing in spiritual growth and healing. Whether you're healing from religious trauma or just seeking guidance on your journey, I'm grateful to be able to offer support however I can. Feel free to ask questions in the chat as we go throughout the live, and I'll address them at the end of our time. If you're watching a recording and have questions, throw them in too, and I'll do my best to either get back to you or take them up next week. I do this each week on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Central, which is US Chicago time, where I am. And if you find the content here helpful, I encourage you to share it with others who might benefit. And if you're new to IFS, visit faithfullygrowing.com and you can learn more there. And while you're there, I encourage you to sign up for my IFS guided meditations. You'll get added to my weekly email list where you'll get resources to support you on your journey. And you can learn more about me and how I work there under the How I Work tab. And you can always send me an email to tim@faithfullygrowing.com if it's easier to communicate that way. I'm here to help. And if you're ready to dive a little deeper into your part's work, I encourage you to join the Faithfully Growing community there on my website. And as a part of the community and as a member, you'll get meditation, email with some support, as well as a weekly drop-in to come and talk about what parts you're noticing, how your parts are doing on a weekly basis. And you'll also get a categorized list of on-demand tutorials there too. And so it's just $9 a month. So I encourage you to join that and join me on a Thursday for one of our weekly drop-ins. And so today, I'm just going to talk a little bit about our parts and empowering them, or maybe giving them a new perspective and knowing that they don't have to work so hard. And so what does it mean to empower your parts? Well, first, just recognizing the roles parts what play and how they might get stuck in the past or doing jobs that may have worked when you were younger that are less effective and can even be detrimental to who you are today. And it doesn't mean our parts are bad. They're just stuck. They're younger, doing the best that they can. And I'll lead you in a meditation to help you practice this and to connect with those parts a little more in a bit. But yeah, recognize their roles and approach parts with patience, curiosity, and compassion, and be aware when you're not feeling that. Things like patience, curiosity, or compassion. It's another part jumping in, and just being aware of that and having that part soften back can help unblend, help our parts get a different perspective so that they can find a role in the system, because we're not trying to put them out of a job where they can not work so hard, and find a job that they actually like and enjoy and that makes us whole and healed in who we are. And then it may be helpful to just kind of let parts know who you are today. And that helps them to know that calm, compassionate center, that self of who you are, who I am, and the gifts that our parts bring. They make up that beautiful core, that belovedness of who we are, that calm, confident, and compassionate self. And I know you've heard me, if you've listened a time or two, talk about my perfectionist part. And with me, engaging with this part has led to greater self-compassion and authentic connections and boldness in my work, and letting that perfectionist part know who I am because it's younger, 12, 13, and that it's okay to also embrace vulnerability, put myself out there from time to time, or it doesn't land with someone else and their system, that it's okay. We can handle this together, and we can have the courage to move forward imperfectly, and letting that perfectionist part know that I see it though, and that it's valid, doing the best that it can. So here's some reflection questions, and then I'll lead us in a meditation to just get practical and to check in with our parts on this idea of a different perspective and empowering them. But it may be helpful to ask, which parts feel disempowered or stuck? How can these parts take on more positive roles? Because they're often tired, worn out. They don't know that there's another role that they can play that can be easier and maybe even more helpful to you and to me and who we are today. And they're open to that, but they don't know that it's a possibility. And that can be a game changer sometimes. And then what support do they need from you to trust you more, to honestly empower, so that they can relax, take on their new roles, and be empowered too? And so I encourage you to spend time with your parts, acknowledge their efforts, and offer encouragement, and take small steps. Consistent actions foster trust and growth. So let's take a small step now and know that empowering parts is a journey, and it fosters trust, compassion, and patience. And these benefits, they manifest in personal growth, improved relationships, and greater confidence. So let's take some time to check in with our parts around this idea of a different perspective, and yeah, that they can be empowered and they don't have to work so hard. And so as we begin, I encourage you to find a comfortable position, sitting or lying down. And close your eyes or soften your gaze, and take a moment to settle into this space, allowing yourself to be fully present. Begin with a few deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let each exhale release any tension you may be holding. And introduce to your system. In this meditation, we're going to explore the concept of empowering your parts, giving them a different perspective. Those inner voices or parts or feelings that play roles in your life. And we'll connect with them gently and invite them into a space of trust and transformation. We're not going to push them any farther or any faster than they allow. We're only going to be here about 10 minutes. Let them know that. Sometimes that helps. It's the beginning, or maybe the next step in a journey. As you continue to ground, bring your awareness to your body. Notice the sensation of your feet touching the ground, or the support of the chair or bed beneath you. With each breath, feel yourself become centered, anchored in the present moment. Notice your parts that are showing up. And just have them gather around however is most appropriate for you and your system. And as you notice that, check in and see how you're feeling toward this moment, the situation, and the parts that are gathering around. And if there's resistance, it's another part jumping in. Just let it know that you see it and see if it could soften back and just witness for now. And if it's able to do that, thank it. Check in again, see how you're feeling toward your parts, and see if you can extend them just a little calmness, curiosity, compassion. If it's hard to connect, that's okay. Simply notice what's present without judgment. As you breathe, if you can, just a drop or two, sense into the openness and curiosity that you're feeling. And if not, just be. But if you can open, notice that openness. That's the self energy we're talking about. And visualize this energy as a warm light within you, expanding with each breath. And let this light represent your ability to lead with clarity and care. And from this place, gently invite one part of you to step forward. It might be a part that feels stuck, critical, or overwhelmed. As this part steps forward, simply notice how it's doing. How does it feel toward you? And where do you sense it in or around your body? What emotions or thoughts does it bring up? And greet this part with kindness. You might say, "Hello, I see you. Thank you for being here." And then check in and see how you're feeling toward the part. If there's resistance or something the opposite of curiosity, for example, it's another part jumping in and see if that part could just unblend, soften back, and witness, knowing that it can have a chance at another time too. And thank it if a part was jumping in. Then turn back to the part that stepped forward and just from a place of even a drop of compassion, ask this part, what role are you playing in my life right now? What are you trying to protect me from? Just listen to its response with patience and gratitude. It takes courage. Let this part know that you're here to support it and that it doesn't have to carry its burden alone. And offer this part some reassurance. You might say, I appreciate how hard you've been working. You've been doing this for a long time. You've been doing your best to help me. What would help you feel more supported right now? Let it know we're not trying to put it out of a job. We need it. But there may be an easier way now that it knows it's not alone and it's a part of a team with you at the center. See if the part could just trust you a little more to lead. Let it know you'll take gentle steps together. Imagine surrounding this part with a warm light of your self energy, letting it feel safe and cared for, and beloved and loved. Just see if there's anything else. Let your part and the system know that we're about to wrap up for now, but this conversation can continue. Take a moment to thank this part for showing up and sharing with you today. Let it know you're here to continue building trust and working together over time. And think all the parts that we're able to soften back and witness. That takes courage. Let them know they can have a chance to have your attention too. If you can honestly say it, and let them know you're not going to forget about them, and sometime jotting down what arose. And then, when it feels right, you can gradually bring your awareness back to your breath. When you're ready, open your eyes or lift your gaze. And take a moment and notice how you feel. And as you move throughout life, remember that empowering your parts is a journey, letting them know they carry aspects of self energy too that contributes to the whole. They're parts of, and we want to be in relationship with them. And each builds trust and creates space for transformation. So see if you can carry this sense of curiosity and compassion with you, knowing you have the ability to lead with your authentic self. And thank you all. I'll hang around for just a bit. If you have questions, feel free to chime in. Or you can always send me an email to tim@faithfullygrowing.com. And if you're looking to go deeper in your parts work, I encourage you to consider joining the Faithfully Growing community. It's $9 a month. You get a weekly live drop in via Zoom where we can talk about our parts a little more and check in and get some feedback in real time and talk. And so if you have questions about that, send me an email too. But so grateful for this community, for being with you for another week. Do this each week, 9 a.m. Central, which is U.S. Chicago time on Tuesdays. So join me if you can, and anytime to tim@faithfullygrowing.com if you have questions. All right. Thanks for your courage and for your trust. And take care of yourself and take care of your parts. And I'll do my best to do that too. Take care.